was a very clear provocation. It was definitely meant like this, and that's why we are calling as well Article 4 political consultations, that if you put everything together, if Russian fighter jets entering to the NATO airspace, so it is a threat.
Well, I'm going to have to look at it. They're going to be briefing me in a short while, so I'll let you know about it tonight or tomorrow. Well, I don't love it. I don't love it.
It was a very clear provocation. It was definitely meant like this, and that's why we are calling as well Article 4 political consultations, that if you put everything together, what has happened during the last couple of weeks, I mean as well the attacks against Poland with the 19 drones. So this is already a systematical NATO test, and that's why we asked that NATO allies, they're showing as well very clear unity amongst NATO as well. Let's discuss what can we do for the Baltic states and the eastern flank, because it is clear that Putin has started on a new level testing NATO and a new level provocation. So this is an adequate response from our side. Putin only understands the language of strength. And also, if we're talking about Russian aggression against Ukraine, so we need to increase the military support to Ukraine. We need to increase the pressure to Putin using more sanctions, more tariffs. Also, we need to decide finally to start using the Russian frozen assets. And if we're talking about his provocations against NATO, we must show that we are united, we are ready, we are able to increase our capabilities. For us as well, it is important that NATO shows and gives a message to Putin, but also publicly to our allies that NATO is united, and we take this situation very seriously, because the situation is very serious. Now we need as well military planning for more capabilities, surveillance and also capabilities. But also it is very important that the NATO shows the unity amongst the membership, and also it's a very clear message to Putin that he cannot push the lines all the time. So 12 minutes violation, heavy violation of NATO airspace needs a solid response on political level and as well on practical level. If Russian fighter jets entering to the NATO airspace, so it is a threat. And also NATO responded in a very adequate ways. NATO fighters went up, and of course we had all the readiness to respond. But yes, happily they were escorted after 12 minutes out from NATO airspace. And if you have Russian fighters in your airspace, if you ask, is it a threat? Of course it is a threat.
Russian jets entered Estonia's airspace today for 12 minutes. Do you see that as a threat to NATO?
Well, I'm going to have to look at it. They're going to be briefing me in a short while, so I'll let you know about it tonight or tomorrow.
What's your take in general? Just being
Well, I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it when that happens. It could be big trouble, but I'll let you know later. They're going to brief me in about an hour.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.